Welcome back to Slippery Rock Sports Forum. Once again, I'm Madeline Williams, and we're about to get our fourth topic underway. First, let me comment on the scores. Tim and Bill, you both have 11, and Zach, you have 8. Okay, our fourth topic for the night, we'll turn back to the NFL and deal with a topic that happened at the beginning of last week with the firing of Wade Phillips. Now that the Cowboys have played one game under the new coach, Jason Garrett, how do you expect Dallas to finish the season, and what do you see different in yesterday's game against the Giants?
I'll start this one off, and I think that it was a brilliant move by them. It was a necessary move. Wade Phillips, he wants to be everybody's friend on the staff. He's not a good coach. He comes out there, and when I watch the games, it's like he has no command over the team. There was no discipline at all on that team. And in the game against Green Bay, which led to his firing, there's players who were giving up on him, weren't even playing at the end of that game. So it was really something that Dallas had to make a move. Now they played a good game. They beat the Giants. They looked like they were actually a team in this game. They were playing together, good offensive performance. The defense stepped up against the Giants, who have been a really big offensive threat all season. I mean, they've kind of been overlooked in some aspects, but the Giants have been a solid team all year. So they played a good game. They're 2-7 right now. I think they might split the remainder of their games, finish something like 5-11, and that'd be respectable from what they did. And that would be a victory for them if they were able to finish somewhat better than they looked like they were going to be. Because honestly, I thought they might not win again. But I think that at the end of the season, though, Jason Garrett won't stay as head coach. I think Jerry Jones is going to have to go hunting for a big-name guy like John Gruden. John Fox will probably be available because Carolina's having a horrible year. Maybe Bill Cowher. He's going to go look for one of those guys to find for head coach of next year. But Jason Garrett, he has, I think, the remainder of the season to try to show off like an addition for other teams to try to get a head coaching job. But I don't think he'll be in Dallas next year.
Tim, I agree with your 5-11 prediction as far as the record goes. To me, it seemed like Garrett has a bit more fire than Wade Phillips, as you said before. But it was really no surprise to me that they were able to play as well as they did against the Giants, which is in their division also. So that's another highlight of the game. But anyway, Romo got hurt against the Giants the first time they played. Kitna's had some time to get with get in sync with the other guys. So with that, Kitna's also a veteran, and he's played on some pretty rough Bengals teams.
Lions too.
Yeah, Lions also. So it's kind of, he's been in positions like this before, so he just kind of go out there and sling it, and they got some good young talent. I see them going 5-11, but where I disagree with you is that I think Jones will actually give Jason Garrett a shot and let him go forward with the team. They seemed like they were very energetic to play with him, like they were a new team, like the season just started. They played like that was their first game, and it'll be exciting, but again, I see them finishing out 5-11 on the year.
I'm actually kind of happy that Wade Phillips is finally gone because, let's be honest, watching his press conferences, especially after a loss, it gets kind of depressing. If you look at the interim tag on Jason Garrett, this is what the Cowboys and Jerry Jones wanted. This was the plan 2-3 years ago when they brought Phillips in. He wasn't supposed to be here that long, and when finally something did go wrong, they brought the axe down. I'm not surprised. I'm not a fan of firing your coach mid-season. That's another big difference between the Cowboys and the Steelers. You want to go ahead and keep calling them America's team, be my guest. But I do think Garrett's the right guy for this job. This is the guy they brought in and groomed 2 years ago. I think Zach said, yeah, they looked excited for a new coach, but who wouldn't? When your head coach gets fired, you as a player you should feel somewhat responsible because it begins and ends with you on the field. So I don't see them going 5-11. I'm looking more at like 6-10, 7-9 to end the year. I think they're going to play with some heart.
Good, you can take it, Zach.
Well, they have a decent schedule ahead. That's why I'm saying 5-11. I mean, it is Dallas, but again, the schedule they have New Orleans coming up, Indianapolis, 2 games with Philly. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It seems like they're on. It seems surreal to them, I think, the way they played last night. Like, they haven't shown up really at all this year, really like that. So I guess that's it for the topic. Sorry for cutting you off, by the way.
That's fine.
Okay, we're coming down to our final 2 topics of the night. Tim, you're the leader with 16 points, and you'll start the 5th topic. Here's the question. The NASCAR season has 1 race remaining at Homestead Motor Speedway, and the points race is up in the air. Who are you guys picking to take home the championship this season?
All right, well, like you said, it's coming down to this final race. Currently, Denny Hamlin holds a 15-point lead over Jimmy Johnson. And he's been the defending champ for the past 3 years. He's really dominated the sport since they've gone to this chase format. So with him out 15 points, it's something that you almost expect him to come back and take this thing away. But this is the first time he's actually been behind. Usually coming in this final race, he has a points lead, and it's usually he's defending it, trying to fight it off. So I think that Hamlin has a good chance to win it. Hamlin, in his past 4 races, he's finished in the top 3 out of the 4 times, with a win last year at Homestead. So this is a racetrack that he's good at. He races well here, and so it's really down between him and Jimmy Johnson. Kevin Harvick also has a chance with the points. Behind that, everybody else is out of contention to win for the championship. So it's really a 3-man race. Harvick's a little farther out than Johnson, but he still has a chance. He would definitely need some luck, though, to be on his side. So he would need a big race in Johnson and Hamlin to finish bad. So now giving a little bit of that backstory, because I know not a lot of people watch NASCAR, not a lot of our viewing audience probably does. But a little bit of backstory there. Now I'll go with my pick, and I think that Denny Hamlin will be able to hold off Jimmy Johnson and finally bring a new winner, a new champion into the sport, because Jimmy Johnson's ran the sport for the past 3 years. So I think that Hamlin goes out there, has a solid race, probably doesn't win it, finishes top 10, just enough in front of Jimmy Johnson, or maybe a spot or 2 behind him where he won't lose any points and he'll be able to win the championship.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel that Hamlin will hold on and win at Homestead, as you said earlier. He's won there earlier last year. He's had 8 wins over the year, so I mean that's not anything new for him. And as you said about his ability to get in the top 3. So with that said, the only thing that Hamlin fans would really have to be worried about, if you even watch NASCAR, would be that Johnson, as you said, is experienced. He's been there before. Hamlin, I don't recall, has really ever been in the chase. He's
been in there 1 or 2 years, but he's never been really up there at the end.
So I expect it to be an epic finish. I expect Johnson to give him a good push, and we'll see. But again, my pick's also Hamlin at Homestead.
What would the world be like without Jimmy Johnson on those commercials? I don't want to imagine a world like that. I'm not a big NASCAR fan. I do understand it somewhat. He's only 15 points off. I think all Johnson has to do is lead the most laps out of anyone on Sunday, and he's the champion for the 4th straight year. I think he's won 5 career titles. Am I right?
Yeah, this will be his 5th, I believe.
He's been here before. Why can't he do it again? Denny Hamlin, I don't think he has nearly as much experience as Johnson does. He can blow it easily. Anything can happen in NASCAR. All it takes is one scratch on your car, and then the air goes wrong, and then your car goes flying, or you lose 5 to 10 miles per hour on your speed. I really don't care who wins it. I'm just looking for some wrecks and some possible fist fights and bird flipping.
Well, I guess as our senior NASCAR correspondent here, is the person who seems to know the most about it, I'll actually talk for any NASCAR fans there, I'll actually talk about the race instead of Jimmy Johnson Lowe's commercials. But Hamlin's definitely experienced, and he's in the FedEx commercials also, which I think that gives him a good chance. Who's in the most commercials, I think, is who's going to win it this year.
Dale Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt has some commercials out there.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is in a lot of commercials.
Yeah, Jr. I forgot to add that.
But yeah, he's not doing too good this year. He didn't even make the chase.
Well, what about Jeff Gordon? Where's he gone? He's fell off. Does he even race anymore?
Yeah, he's still out there. Maybe you should check him on your NASCAR.
Yeah, again, I'm with Bill on this. I'm not a NASCAR guy. Sorry.
But yeah, I think that to counteract Bill's point, that Hamlin has plenty of experience. He's been around. He's won a lot of races this year, and I think he's going to win it. So that'll be the final words for that topic.
All right, it looks like we're coming down to our final topic of the night, and it should be a good finish. Zach, you're currently in last, and you will start this off because you have the least points. We're turning back to SRU sports and talking about football now. The football season ended on Saturday with a 42-38 loss to CW Post. That dropped the Rock's final record to 6-5 and ends the season with a 3-game losing streak. What do you guys think this says about the SRU football season?
Not much. A few weeks ago we were talking about the possible playoff push for them, and they end up 6-5. So I don't know where what their expectations were as a team, but as far as us talking and everything, somewhat fell. I mean, the cards had to fall in the right direction for them, but there was still a chance they were going to be able to make it. They lost their final 3 games of the year, and their season just kind of went down the drain. As you said before, you called it. You said it was going to go kaput, and that's what happened. Yes, they fell flat on their face. All they have to do, again, with the women's soccer team, look forward to next year, build on some of their talent that they have coming back, and try again next year. But they fell on their face.
All right. I'm talking about a couple of things. First, I feel that this season for them was disappointing because they had a chance. They could have went 8-3 there, even after some of those late losses. They had these 2 final home games. They had the game before that, and they really had some chances to make a final push, try to go 8-3, 7-4, and they just completely fell apart. The game against Gannon, it was just turnover day. They had like 7 turnovers, played an absolutely horrible game. It was snowing and everything. I mean, the conditions weren't the greatest, but they still threw that game away. They only lost 24-20, and they played one of the worst games I've ever seen, the way they were fumbling the ball here and there, throwing interceptions. So one thing I have to question, though, is Coach Mahalik. He seems to me like he's a bit of following the Wade Phillips mold whenever I watch him out there on the field. It seems like he's trying to be their friends more than he's trying to be a disciplinarian, because these are college kids we're dealing with. These aren't NFL pro athletes who can discipline themselves to some certain aspect. You got to keep these guys focused, keep their heads in the game. And it seemed to me that just as the season went on, they started off great just as they did last year. Then they just got to that point halfway through the season, they lost the game, and all of a sudden it was all downhill from there, and they just couldn't pull it back together.
Aerosmith has a song, and it's titled Same Old Song and Dance, and that's been the theme for the second half of this team's seasons for the last 3 years. We get teased. They start off 5-1, 6-1, then we get to the Cal game, and they get beat on, and the next 4 or 5 games after that, they start going away from what got them there. This year it was the running attack. They would run it down your throat, and they got away from it again. And Zach said they ended up losing their last 3 games. I said when they lost to Cal, their playoff chances were kaput then. I'm not surprised at what I saw the whole second half.
Yeah, one thing is they went back after what they did best. I believe Satterfield had like 271 yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns against CW Post, but it was just still not enough for them.
It was too late. At that point, it was too late.
Yeah, at that point it didn't matter.
They're young going into next year. I think Satterfield's only a redshirt sophomore, so he's got more time to develop. Ryan Sabo's got more time to develop with the offense. They're going to look a lot better than they were this year going into next year.
But they were looking better this year. They had chances, and they came out and played good at the beginning of the season. I want to know your guys' thoughts on Coach Mahalik.
It's not time yet. I mean, the guy's he's an institution here. I'm sure he knows, hey, I got to make some coaching adjustments, but who doesn't?
Yeah.
Keep him.
Well, I mean, apparently there's some motivation issues, which, look where that landed Wade Phillips. But then again, as you said, they're professional athletes, that's their life, and that's what they're supposed to do. As you said, I think, keep him around 2 or 3 years and, more years, see what he can bring out of this young talent that they have. So.
By any means, I wasn't saying fire him. I was just saying I think we have to question his coaching style to some aspect.
I have a few times. That doesn't mean, let's get rid of him. But
yeah, I'm not going Jerry Jones in here.
Some games this year that maybe they need to run play fakes here at certain points on drives. But
I don't know. Maybe look at the staff as a whole, and the players.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Tim, you're a winner tonight. You finished with 22. Right. Bill, you finished with 21. And Zach, you finished last. You had 19. So close. That means, Tim, you get some face time to say whatever you want.
All right. First off, I want to say that Bill's been playing hard the last 2 games. He deserves a little bit of credit here. Both of these last 2 games, he came up short by 1 point. Not sure exactly what's going on with Zach, but I guess he'll get it together eventually. He won that first show. He's been like the Dallas Cowboys lately. But no, on a serious note, I want to say congratulations to Tom Brady for making me happy once again and beating the Steelers. I'm not a Steelers fan by any means, and it really makes me happy to hear everybody around me depressed and all the Steelers fans saying that the season's over and there's no chance for anything anymore. That's how it seems to be here. Steelers fans are either, as soon as they win 1 game, they're going to the Super Bowl, they lose 1 game, and their whole season's done. So I was just happy that Tom Brady was able to put that game together and come out and show some heart and beat the Steelers.
All right, once again, Tim, you're our winner tonight. I'm Madeline Williams. Thanks for watching Slippery Rock Sports Forum. See you next time.
chill for a minute.